Hey, everybody. Look who's back. I roped him into doing another episode with me. I'm Wendy Day. This is Tony Guidry. And let's tell him today about getting paid to perform.
Getting paid to perform.
It's actually the first way that artists start making money in their career is through shows. So let's talk about like how they can set their price, how an artist sets your price. And when you're doing a show, you're going to get half of the money up front, and then you're going to collect the back end right before you go onto the stage. So if you're getting paid, say $2,000 a show, you're going to get $1,000 wired into your account when they book you, and then you'll be handed $1,000 in cash right before you step on stage.
No checks.
Yeah, no checks. No checks, please. Checks bounce.
No doubt. So, when starting off as a new artist, I know that it seems like you drop a dope tape and then you just start charging people to.
Oh, if only it worked that way.
To grace them with your presence on stage.
If only.
That's not the way it works. The only reason for someone to book you or pay you to come out to perform is if you have some type of fan base and you're going to bring some people out.
So you have to have a buzz.
You got to have some type of buzz.
And you were tired of hearing me say that.
But you got to have some type of buzz. The booking is a business. So.
And you started as a promoter, didn't you?
I did start as a club promoter.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Club promoter. I was a club promoter.
In Louisiana.
Mm-hmm. Who never booked a no-show or got scammed on a booking ever.
Is that rare?
Yeah.
You're saying it like it's a badge of honor. That's
yeah. I mean, promoters.
It's a problem?
Yeah, promoters know that there are so many people out here on social media claiming to represent different artists, claiming to be booking agents. A lot of.
Oh, so you could pay somebody, like if you're booking Rich Homie Quan, you could pay somebody because they say they're representing him, but they don't really.
Yeah, like.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like it was a good friend of mine almost got scammed by a guy who his name was Rich Homie Manager or Rich Homie J or something like that, and he claimed to be the manager for Rich Homie Quan, but it was a bootleg account. And he was telling
and a burner phone.
Yeah, of course.
What a surprise!
It was a bootleg account, and he was telling guys that when Rich Homie Quan was $35,000 a show, he was telling them that they were taking bookings for $15,000.
Wow! So people jumped on it.
Yeah, so you call the official number, or find out from an official source that Rich Homie was $35,000. You're like, oh man, that's too much. I ain't paying that. And you go and you look on social media and you find this other dude. And you say, hey man, well, I'm trying to book Rich Homie in Miami in Memorial Day weekend. Okay, bro, look, it's gonna cost $15,000 plus rooms and travel. But look, send $10,000 up front, and we'll work out the rest on the back end. I'm gonna send you the contract right now. And the banking information. You just make sure you send that $10K in. Boom, you send the $10K in, and then doo.
The number you've reached.
Phone number no longer works.
Wow, that's crazy.
And, a lot of that happened before Boosie got out of jail too. With
It happened with Gucci Mane too.
It happened with Gucci Mane a lot. It just happens. It's happened with Rich Homie a lot.
I didn't know that was a real thing.
Yeah,
that's messed up.
Yeah, I mean the new people who are trying to book shows, the new promoters who don't really know, they may not understand what an artist costs, and so in shopping around for the lowest price, they'll fall for a scam a lot of times. And and one of the last shows I did in Louisiana, we went head up with a guy who we had booked 2 Chainz, and he had Meek Mill, Waka Flocka, and somebody else. But his show, he had been scammed. And he actually tried to sell me the after party for the Meek Mill show after he knew he got scammed. He was trying to save face. Up. Yeah, he was trying to save some of his money.
Right.
And
or recoup some of his money.
Yeah. And it just of course it didn't work. He couldn't put me in contact with the proper representatives for Meek. And the people he put me in contact with, after I did my research, I realized they didn't work with Meek, and so I couldn't pull the trigger on the booking.
So how can, were you done your thought? Because I don't want to
Go
interrupt
ahead.
you. Okay. So how does somebody that's new set their price? Like, how do they know that? First of all, how do they know they can charge? And then how do they know what to charge?
Well, this is the thing. When you're first starting out and you're building your fan base and you got your first momentum going, you're going to do different events that are maybe might be favors or other things for different promoters as you move forward. But as soon as you start getting calls for bookings, where the person wants to book you directly, I always start out at $1,000. Now I know artists who start out at 300 or 500, but for somebody to call you to want to book you, they know that you're going to draw some people, because the promotion game is that they have to book somebody who has a draw. It doesn't make sense financially for them to book somebody who's not going to bring people out. So if they're calling you to book you, they believe you can bring at least a couple hundred people out. And so you figure 200 people at $10 a head, 2,000. Get a promoter's room to make some money. You take $1,000. You start that way. And you're going to be doing shows in front of 150, 200 people, 100 people, small venues, and you go up on your price according to the size of the venue that you're getting booked at and the type of buzz that you have.
I see. Okay. Well, if let's say you're just starting out and you're brand new and people aren't calling you yet, the first thing you need to do is build a buzz. Obviously, get a little hype going in your area.
Right.
But can you open for other artists?
You can open for other artists. You don't pay for it though.
Oh God, never pay for it. No.
Don't pay for it. I had a disagreement with a young lady who reads everything that you say. Mm-hmm. And she was selling opening acts to artists and asked me to help her. And I told her that she was on fuckery. And she said she was only doing what you said because you said that an artist should open up as much as possible in their local area. That didn't mean to pay though. Right. And so I just want to clarify that you do want to do as many shows as possible in your local area, and when you're coming up, you want to do open for as many artists, bigger shows as possible. But it's not something you want to pay for.
No, and you want to perform for free. In fact, rather than pay for the slot, why not pay to build your promotion, to build your buzz, to build the hype around you, so that when the promoter has an opening, they call you instead of you calling them. I mean, it's a much better position to be in.
Let me say this.
Please.
When you're building your buzz, the promoter's not going to really call you, okay? And you're going to be tempted to pay to open up for bigger artists so that you can fulfill your dream and your desire to be on the stage in front of all these people. But before you pay to get on stage, before you sell tickets to be a part of a show with a bigger artist and become really a promo team member instead of an artist, before you do this, take the money that you would have paid to perform and use that money for some promo material to work the crowd once the event is over outside of the parking lot.
Oh, maybe, the parking lot, right.
Maybe you get a bunch of posters printed. You plaster up the whole parking lot with posters, the front of the venue, the barricades, all of that with your posters and stuff. And once the show is in mid-stride at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, you and your team are out there putting your CDs or your download cards in the car door window of all the cars in the parking lot.
I love that you said car door windows. I hate when people put them in the windshield wiper.
Yeah, well, Street Team 101 for you new guys and people who don't know better. If you put your CD or you put your flyer or your download card or whatever, if you put your promotional item under the windshield, it's going to get overlooked. And when the person does notice it, they're just going to turn the windshield on and flick it off.
That's what I do.
Okay. If you put it in the door, in the crack of the window on the driver's side door, it's right above the door handle. So the person has no choice but to see it when they're looking to reach for their door handle.
And touch it.
They have no choice but to see it right there. And when they see it there, they're going to pick it up.
And you hope that they look at it.
Yeah, they're going to see your artwork. It's registered, whether they want it to register it or not. It's registered in their mind, your artwork, your name, if they seen it. Now, either they're going to just jump in the car with it, maybe throw it on the passenger seat, or they may pop it in. But I guarantee you that if you're inside the club and you're opening for Boosie, when you perform, you can say that your name is Lil JoJo 100 times. The people not paying you no attention.
Well, they're not there to see Little JoJo. They're there to see Bootsy.
Exactly.
People don't discover music.
The nightclub scene
That's not what it's for.
is not a place where people discover new music. People go out to nightclubs to dance to the songs that they know, to enjoy the music that's their favorites, have a few drinks and socialize.
Dance to the music they know, in case you missed what he said.
Yeah, they're going to sing.
Dance to the music they know. Not new songs. No. Not stuff they've never heard before.
Right. And so it's a lot of myths about, oh, well, such and such saw such and such perform and signed him on the spot.
In 24 years, I've never, not one time, not once, ever seen that.
Right.
It's all bullshit. That never happened. It's a myth. It's an urban lore.
Exactly.
It's never happened.
Exactly. The latest story that I've heard that people overlook the fact of is OT Genesis. They say OT Genesis opened up for Busta Rhymes, and after he had to do the Coco song 4 times back to back because of the crowd, and Busta signed him after that. Now you're overlooking the fact that the whole crowd that was there to see Busta knew the song already. Right. So OT already had his own buzz.
Oh, he had a buzz?
He already had his own buzz. It was actually a paid show for him. He was already on the radar of several different people in the music business because he had this record that many felt could end up being a hit record. And it ended up being a hit record. So it wasn't because he opened for Busta that got him in the position. It was because he worked his record to a point where it was a crowd full of people that wanted to hear it back to back to back that convinced somebody to take a chance on it. So when you're a bit of a budding artist building up, I know you want to jump on the stage and grace everybody with your wonderful presence and feed us your amazing music, give our ears the blessing of hearing your amazing lyrical prowess over the A1 superstar, better than every producer ever beat that your homeboy made in his mama basement. We know that's what you really want to do, that you really want to look out for us and bless us with this amazing listening experience. Unfortunately, that's not what we're here for this night.
Right.
We're here to see whoever picture was the biggest on the flyer, and we're here. We're in a venue.
Music we know.
We're in a venue to hear the music that we're accustomed to hearing here every Friday or Saturday night that we come here. We're not here for Joe Blow to jump up here and jump up and down and scream some song that we never heard of.
Right.
Not even interested the least bit. So before you put yourself in that position where you're the clown that's giving everybody a headache, performing 6 songs that nobody knows, work the parking lot, work the people. Not during the event, because the people are there to party. The people are there to have fun. Don't interrupt them handing them your CD. They got a drink in their hand. They kicking it. You're in the way.
Yeah, they don't want to carry your shit around all night.
No.
They're there to party and have fun.
Exactly. So you work the parking lot,
Great idea.
multiple impressions with your posters everywhere, and then you can work your CD angle with your music in the doors or
download cards
or whatever.
We're in the Southeast, and CDs still matter here.
Yeah, well,
we're not in New York or Boston or where CDs are an endangered species.
Right, and CDs are an endangered species according to genre as well.
True.
Because
they're big in country.
Right. And let me say this. We just saw the report. Sony Music, 42% of their income, streaming. 40% of their income, physical sales. 18% of their income, digital sales. So before we write off the CD, understand it's 150, 200 million cars on the road with CD players. And just understand this, that The CD may be a dying breed or a dying technology,
but it's not dead.
Far from dead, and has a very strong relevance right now. If the person who gets your CD pops it in their car, but they don't listen to music on CD all the time, then they're going to go to whatever streaming site and stream your music or download it or what have you to have it in their phone.
Right.
So the CD is often an introduction to a way for them to listen to your music. If they like it, they're going to listen to it whatever their favorite way is. But if we can get them the CD in the place that they're most likely to have a CD player, their vehicle, maybe they'll pop you in and give you a chance. They've either been drinking or partying or having fun. They just had a great night or a not so great night or what have you. They got this new CD in their hand. Maybe they'll pop you in and check you out. So that's much more effective than paying to perform. If you pay to perform, the people are going to leave. They aren't going to know who you are. They're not going to know your name. If they're
not going to care. More importantly,
if they see your poster after you perform, is your 99 times out of 100, the picture on your poster and the artwork on your poster, they don't look like the way you look in person every day. The artwork is too stylized or whatnot. They're not going to draw that. They're in the club. They're way in the back when you performing because they ain't got no interest in what you're doing. They're not rushing up to get close to the stage until the headline act is coming.
Right.
So
or until they know who you are.
Right.
Like once you have a buzz.
Once you have a buzz, then it's a different story. But when you're an upcoming artist and you get no calls to be booked, then you shouldn't be overly concerned with ways to get on the stage. Okay? And if you're an upcoming artist that's starting to get a buzz and you feel like the promoters are hating on you or that they're not acknowledging your growth,
they're blocking you,
then the quickest way to show a person that they're wrong in business is to make some money. So what you would do is you would go to the club owner, you find you a club, say you got 100 fans. You know you got 100 fans. You know in your city and on your side of the city or in your neighborhood or in your town, you know you got 100 fans. You've been doing music your whole life and everybody in your hood know who you are. You know for a fact you got 100 fans. And you know that they'll pay $10 to come out and kick it with you, party with you, listen to your music. So you know you can make $1,000. So you go to the club owner and you say, hey man, you don't ask them for a Friday or Saturday, their bread and butter nights. You catch them on an off night. Might be a Monday, might be a Wednesday, a Thursday, whatever the off night is. Pick a night where you know you can bring your people out. A big thing I like to do on off nights is pick a 1st or 15th. That's an off night, if possible. Because you know people got paid that day. You know what I'm saying? They got an extra. They may not have extra money in their pocket that they realize, but right now it feels like this $10 won't hurt because they just got paid. Okay? So we do that. You go in, you talk to the club owner. Hey man, I want your club on this Tuesday night. I'm gonna do a listening party for my album. This is just something for me. You want a small venue. You don't want a venue that's gonna hold 1,000 people when you're first starting out because you're gonna film this. You're gonna have somebody come and take pictures and film this, and you don't want it to look.
Content is king.
No doubt. You don't want it to look empty. You want it to appear to be full. So you want a small, intimate venue.
How big?
100, 150 people capacity.
Okay.
Maybe 200 person capacity at the most.
It depends on your buzz, basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and just starting out, if you're a hard worker and you really been working, you just know that you could bring out 100 people. If you've been working and promoting your music properly in any neighborhood or area that you're in, whether you're from Crowley, Louisiana, or you're from New York City, if you don't got 100 people willing to pay $10 for you, you just got more work to do. You ain't got no business on nobody's stage.
That's fair.
Okay? So if you're not at that point, I don't care how great your music is, you haven't done the work necessary to warrant performing live yet. So you got to earn your stripes in this game. You got to pay your dues, for lack of a better word. And I know that's not something that's popular amongst today's youth. Everybody wants instant fame and success. But if you don't pay your dues, you're going to jump up on that stage and you're going to get ignored. Or even worse, you're going to get booed. or even worse, somebody's gonna start throwing bottles at you.
Whoa.
Because they have no interest in a total stranger interrupting their partying to do his one or two little songs. Okay? And don't even think about doing 5 or 6 songs as a new artist. That's especially not as an opening act. That's not even an option. That's not even an option. Right. So
do your single and get off the stage.
Exactly. When a promoter, and once you building a buzz, and let's say a promoter reaches out to you, you're not getting booked yet, but you go to the same clubs, you know the promoter, you know the DJ. The DJ plays your record every once in a while. When he does, you and your partners turn up and kick it, and the promoter knows who you are because you're in the club all the time. And he says, "Hey man, bringing out 21 Savage Christmas night, bro. You want to open? I got to open the slot for you." If he gives you that spot, don't get up there and don't feel insulted if he says, "I got 4 minutes for you on that night." That's not an insult. 4 minutes for the artists I work with, that's enough time to do 3 songs. That's enough time to do a hook. A medley. Yeah, a hook off of one song that's catchy, a verse off another song, and then a verse, hook, verse of the single. It's enough time to do all of that in 4 minutes, whether you believe it or not. Doing your whole 3.5 minute song, 3 of them, you murdering the crowd. You're killing the vibe of the party. That's not what you want to do. You don't want to.
It's because they don't know who you are yet.
Right. You got to work your way into a position where you can do this many songs that people know. It's just the way it is. So you want to focus on the one song that's your strongest song when you first start getting these shows and these opportunities. Now, but before you get booked, you have to spark a reason to get a live performance. And this is what I was talking about with working with the club owner. Now, you figure 6-8 weeks in advance, you give yourself some lead time to get your promo up. You go to the club owner, "Hey man, I want to do this on whatever off night you choose." You look, you say, "Shucks, I don't know. I'm not looking at a calendar, but maybe January 20th is open, and that's inauguration day, and so it's gonna be a lot of motherfuckers want to have a drink after they see Trump take that vow." So you may say, "Bro, on inauguration night on January 20th, that Tuesday, I want to have my listening party," and you throw a red, white, and blue party or whatever it is that you do, and you promote it on your social media, and you do giveaways on your social media. You say, "Hey man, if anybody know the words to my single, rap it on Instagram and hashtag Lil JoJo hook challenge or do my dance challenge or whatever it is."
Whatever the hashtag is.
Yeah. And do this performance on your social media and put the hashtag in so I can find you. And I'm going to pick somebody that's going to win free tickets to my event. Or pick somebody that's going to win free drinks at my event.
Oh, what a good idea.
And then,
content is king.
Yeah. And then you go in, of course, you repost everybody who uses the hashtag, and you pick somebody, and you go to them, and you get them the free tickets, and you video that, take a picture with them, tag them in your stuff, and maybe you do this 2 or 3 times or 10 times over the 6 or 8 week promo course that you have for your event. And you're not going to post a flyer 100 times a day. You're not going to do that. Be creative in promoting this. Like, right. Do different things.
That's a great idea.
Thank you. Do different things that are going to get people interacting with you that's already your fans, and get them excited about seeing you perform 3 or 4 of their favorite songs from your latest project. Okay? So you do all of this. You throw your first show. You charge $10 a head. You know, maybe you let 20, 30 people in for free that have won things, but you charge $20 a head. You try to get 100 people in there, make $1,000. You know, whatever you got to pay the club owner, $200, $300, $500, whatever it may be, as long as it's reasonable compared to what you know you can bring. Don't imagine, nothing is wrong with thinking big, but don't imagine when you're from the west side of your city and you know nobody on the east side even know who you are, that you're going to be able to bring the whole city out. Don't trick yourself that way. Be realistic with yourself. Be ambitious and be positive and confident and realistic at the same time.
What if there's an artist from the east side of town? you just said you're on the west side of town. What if there's an artist on the east side of town? Could you come together and do a show and bring out more people?
Of course you could. You can go over. You can go if you're the biggest artist on your side of the city, and it's another dude over there on the other side of the city. He's the best artist on that side of the city. Instead of what traditionally happens in the cities of this size, where you got these different sides, where we don't fuck with them niggas on that side. We don't fuck with them niggas on that side. You can be innovators
and do unifiers,
and do something brand new by reaching out to this dude on the west side. Even though if they clowns on that side, even though if you and your guys on this side feel like they clowns on that side, reach out to your man. Reach out to dude on that side who is the man on that side the same way you the man on this side, and say, "Hey, bro, you know we could do this event. We could do this shit together, and we could charge $10 a head to get in, and my mama and your mama could work the door, and we'll just bust the money down at the end of the night. We can go up here to Joe's bar right now. He told me that we can get the bar on the Tuesday night for $300, so we could both drop our tape on the same day, and do our listening party. Or I dropped my tape last week, and I want to do the event next month, so that when we do the event, my fans know the words to my songs. You know, I see that you just dropped the tape last month. Maybe we could make it where we both go out and do the shit. We could shoot a video in here and everything. And you work it out with him where y'all go and y'all do this event. And now instead of getting a spot that hold 150 people, he got 100-something fans. You got 100-something fans. Y'all go find a spot that hold better than 200 people, say 200 to 300. Not no 500-person venue, not no 1,000-person venue. You would rather, when you're doing this on your own, to start off, you're proving a point to the promoters of why they should book you. So you want this spot to look packed. You want it to be wall to wall. You want it to be impressive at how many people you brought out. And the way that you do that, you get a smaller venue. Okay?
And stuff it.
Stuff it to capacity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if the fire marshal comes out, even better. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that you may have to do before the promoter rock with you. But believe me, when you throw your first show and it's packed, the promoters are going to start calling you, because they're not going to sit around. A club promoter's business and livelihood is based on the shows that he does. He's not going to sit around and watch you grow and blow out of his price range
right.
without making a nickel with you. He's going to start rocking with you.
He's going to jump on your bandwagon.
As soon as he see you could make some money, he's going to start rocking with you. So these are things that you may have to do. You may have to throw your own show. Now,
can you do a door split?
Okay, I don't like door splits.
How come?
I'm going to explain to you why I don't like door. I don't like door splits with promoters. Okay?
Right.
If you got if you have enough of a draw for somebody to want to book you, they should have the money to be able to pay you. Okay? They should have the money to be able to pay you, rent the venue, and promote. If they asking you for a door split, they don't have enough money to do something.
Oh, and if they don't have enough money to give you your deposit, then they don't have enough money to promote.
And if they don't promote the show properly, there's no way for it to be successful. See, and it's a lot of people, a lot of fake promoters or wannabe promoters who they want to book you, then they want you to promote the show for them.
Right.
Which it
doesn't work that way.
No, you're going to work with them. You're going to get them a video drop. You're going to post a flyer on your social media here.
Did you give them a radio drop too?
I like to do the video drop, and if they're going to do radio ads, they can take the audio straight off the video.
Oh, of course they can. Right.
So doing separate drops is just extra work.
It's extra work, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like with Trouble, we do 10, 12 shows a month, sometimes 15. Just having him do all that stuff is repetitious when he can just knock it out.
Right.
In one whop. So with door splits, you run into that problem of them not having the money to properly promote. If they don't got the money to book you, they don't got the money to promote the show.
Right.
If they can't promote the show, then nobody makes
out. Money. Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just a bad look for you. It's like, oh, they did a show, nobody came out. And on top of that, you got to have somebody at the door to watch the money.
Oh, of course you do.
Yeah.
To count who's coming in.
Exactly. And you end up in these...
Make sure they're not letting just anybody in for free.
When you end up in these other situations when the promoter got his people, his buddies and his girlfriend, and the club owner got his nephews and their girlfriends, and you got the local radio dude coming through, the 3 people on the morning show, and
you gotta let them in free. You can't front on them.
And each of them got they partner or their girlfriend or significant other, and you'll be sitting there at a 200-person capacity venue where you trying to get you trying to make $1,000 this night. The venue holds 250 people. You're charging $10 a head, so the most you can make is $2,500. And then you get these 4 guys. They cool with the promoter. Girls with mini skirts get in for half price. So the girls coming in left and right. You want the girls in, you know what I'm saying? If she got $3, she got to be able to get in, and you end up in a situation where now here go dudes from the radio station trying to get in. It's 5 or 6 of them, and then your homeboy come through, little pook and them, and your baby mama brought 3 of her friends.
So there's 100 people that got in for free.
Yeah, and then you look up. Yeah, you look up and you only got, out of the 250 people that could have possibly paid, you only charged 120 of them. And then you're looking at the door like, damn.
And your split is 600.
And it's like,
so you're screwed.
Right. You might have bought 2 bottles in the club thinking that you're going to pay for it at the door, and it just don't make sense. Door splits, unless it's a seasoned promoter that you've been dealing with, it don't really make sense. Now, I would do a door split with a club owner where I take the majority. I do the promotion. It's my show. I'm MC Tony. I'm going to throw the show in your club, sir. And I bring out better than 200 people. You normally get $750 for your club on this particular night. I'm going to throw the show on an off night, and I'm going to give you $25 out of every 100. I'm going to give you 25%. You know what I'm saying? I will work that out with a club owner to establish a relationship and show them I'm a business person and things of that nature so that we could work something out in the future. Those are the only door splits.
But then you're responsible for all the promotion.
Yeah, I'm going to do all of the promotion myself. I'm going to place somebody at the door that I trust to pick up the money. I'm going to have a very limited guest list. I know who. I'm not letting 100 people in for free.
Right.
I will work that out with the club owner himself or the club manager, not a promoter.
Right.
I'm not a promoter, a club promoter or event promoter has to have the money to book the artist and properly promote the show in order to be successful.
Right.
If they don't have the money to do that, they're not a real promoter, and I'm not trying to do business with them.
And that really hurts the artist too, because the people that are there see that there's only 10 people in the club turning out for you, the artist, and it doesn't make the promoter look janky. It kind of makes you look janky, like you couldn't draw a crowd. And with Instagram and social media, that can be very hurtful.
Yeah, the same, bad word spreads the fastest.
At lightning speed. Yes.
So if you work something on a door split out with this promoter and he ain't got no money to promote and you in there with 20 people, guarantee all them 20 people gonna be talking about, man, this about dead as a bitch. Nobody came out. I went to see MC JoJo and nobody came out. So that even when you do build a buzz for yourself, those 20 or 30 people that came out, they're going to be telling their friends the next time you come, man, I'm not going last time. It was whack.
Right.
It was dead the last time he was in town. I'm not doing that. So I don't espouse door splits, bro, and it's because it's business on both ends. The promoter has to have the money to get the stuff done. Just like you got to have a draw, you got to have a buzz to be able to bring the people in to expect to even get paid from the promoter. So I don't really like doing.
But you would do a door split with another artist from across town, just for those of you who missed part of this and you're only hearing one part.
Right now, I would in pairing with another artist. These are before. Just like I don't believe in selling tickets for shows either. Like they give you 100 tickets to sell and.
Well, that's like paying to perform.
You keep half of the money. You are paying to perform.
You know where I do like that, though? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I like that for a new artist that hasn't quite honed their performance skill, because you can't really rent a club, with a crowd to practice your show and to hone your skills. But if there's an open mic night and you don't have the money to get up and perform, you might sell 5 tickets for $10 a piece to give you the right to get up on stage to perform. And then at least you have a small crowd you can perform in front of. So I do like it in that respect. But for somebody whose career is already started and taking off, I don't believe in paying to perform.
Right. Well,
tickets or no.
Right. Well, the thing about that one is, with me, and I agree with you, is that if you're talking about doing a show with other upcoming artists, like if you got to sell tickets to be on the show or on the showcase, then why don't you partner with a couple of other artists that are upcoming also, and all of y'all get together. If it's 4 or 5 of y'all and y'all only got 30 or 40 fans apiece, you can grab a spot that's got a 200 person capacity, a small spot in your town, and the 4 of y'all get together and y'all all promote and cross promote and bring all of your fans out. That way, each of you have tickets to sell, and you sell tickets and you keep the money in your pocket because you've put together in the beginning to rent the venue and maybe get some flyers or something done. But all the tickets you sell, you get to keep the money for, and then y'all just choose who you're gonna have working the door for people that walk up to pay, and y'all just split the money 4 ways. That way, you can do this once a month, rotating who's going to be the headliner, and you get a chance to perfect your stage show
and make money because you can take the money you make from that, and you can do bigger shows. You can bring somebody in from out of town to perform like a headliner.
Right.
You're building your buzz, or you can take that money and put it into your career.
Right.
For those of you that don't have a budget, because this is a very expensive industry, you got to have money to succeed.
And this is also how, for the industrious artists, how a tour can start, because you got 3 or 4 artists together. Maybe you're doing this showcase, or you're doing this open mic once a month, and it reaches a proportion where somebody from out of town notices, or one of the artists that's on it has a cousin from 30, 40 miles away that raps, and they've been trying to do the same thing, and they call and they say, hey man, how do you guys, how y'all get that stuff started? And you say, man, we could do this in your city too. Look, matter of fact, you got as long as you got your 20, 30 fans, bro, that'll come out here, look, we're going to cut you in on the next show. And so then he comes out, he gets on a flyer, he comes out, he sells tickets, he performs on this next showcase with you guys, and then y'all start looking at places in his city to do the same thing, where all of y'all can bring y'all fans out and perform again. And then you start working from city to city, and you start making these connections, because it's all based on relationships. You treat these people's venues right, you bring them a decent crowd on an off night, and the word begins to spread. And then you're able to put together a 5 or 6 city run, and you can just name it a tour. And then it's I was on tour, which is a big look. You film it all, you put it up on YouTube and stuff like that.
More content.
Yeah, exactly. And it also raises awareness of you in all of these other cities. Because once you master how to bring a crowd out in your city, all you got to do is go to the next city and implement the same tactics. And so it's something that helps to build and start your career, because your career can only grow as high as the foundation is in the beginning. So the deeper you dig into your foundation, the higher you can build your career. You got to take your career seriously.
I love that you said that.
So
that's what I should have named my channel. Take your career seriously.
So
it's not a game.
No, it's not a game, because when you start getting book shows and you start getting paid for performances, you're gonna want to bring all of your friends with you. You're gonna want to bring all of your friends with you. You're gonna want to party and pop bottles and show off like all of the other rappers, and you're gonna want to do so much, but it's gonna take away from your bottom line, and it's gonna make you. I used to work with a rapper that was making $1,000 a show. Okay, This guy was making $1,000. He got up to $1,500 a show. But every time he did a show, he would go buy $300 jeans, $150 shirt, some $250, $300 shoes. Then he would go in the club and buy 2 or 3 bottles.
Right.
And he wouldn't
there goes his whole profit.
He wouldn't make a penny.
That's crazy.
But he looked like a superstar.
But he looked good.
Okay. Now,
right.
Once the buzz that he had in that 30 or 40 mile radius started fading away, he didn't have any money saved to start pushing his next record.
Oh.
And he was frustrated about nobody showing him no love no more.
Right.
But if he could have did his initial shows in a white tee and some jeans with some Air Force Ones and bought him a drink or 2 instead of a bottle or 2, he could have saved $500 a show. And when I say this dude did, he was doing 3-4 shows a week. So if he could have saved $500 per show, if he could have saved $200 per show, he'd have been saving $2,000 a month. He had an 8 or 9 month run. If he could have just saved him $2,000 a month for the first 5 months, that $10,000 he would have saved would have allowed him to branch out into other markets,
right,
or to start working on his next record
and increase his rate.
Exactly.
You know, from $2,000 a show or $1,000 a show, whatever it was.
Right, and go up.
Yeah.
So, but he never did, and so he burned himself out at $1,000 a show, and he had plenty of fun, and he looked like a star for 6 months, and then he just fell off, and he's never been able to recreate that.
Oh, it's messed up.
Yeah, that momentum again. So, when we're talking about doing your shows, I think we're about to wrap up. So, when we're talking about getting shows, the first thing you got to do is build your buzz up so that there's some type of demand for you. Once there's some type of demand for you, then you're going to start being able to reach out to some of these promoters or possibly do your own shows. A couple of successful shows that you do on your own is going to get promoters to start calling you. And once they do start calling you, that's when you know that your price, you start your price out simple. You start your price out at $1,000. If it looks like the promoter's making $1 million when they're paying you $1,000, bear with it until you start getting booked in bigger venues and go up on your price accordingly. But the very first step before jumping in front of a crowd of 50,000 people is being able to bring 50 people out. And so first you need a buzz. You got to have enough people that know your music that want to come out to see you and check you out. So that's the beginning. And I think that's where we're going to stop at with this one.
Yeah. Will you come back and do this again?
Sure.
Because I'd really like to talk about how the money comes in and how you get paid. Like once you get, we talked about the foundation now. Once you get to that next level, you know, how do you grow your career and how do you move around and how do you save money and all that fun stuff like you do with Trouble?
Got you. We'll talk about that on the next one.
I would love that.
That's
okay.
Good.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Talk to you soon. See you soon. Bye.